Coons was one of an estimated 50 or more people who met with Ukraine's leader today as Zelensky pressured attendees at Davos for their support in the ongoing war with Russia. Coons, who sports a badge linked to both the US-Ukrainian flags, explains that the meeting went very well, was very encouraging, and that it was an expression of business national support for Ukraine. Zelensky gave us an update on war with Russia and determination of Ukrainian people. Coons explains, adding Ukrainian people, to remain determined and do that. There were a number of bankers in the room as well as the chairman of fertilizer giant Yara. Coons tells us. Senator Coons adds that YouTube's CEO talked about their efforts to eliminate Russian disinformation, malignant content to make sure that students learn businesses can communicate. The government work as well. Ursula von der Leyen made forceful statements about her 6 visits to Kviv during the war, saying how impressed she was by reform movements to fight corruption, increase transparency, create a good business environment. Participants also heard from NATO chief Jens Stoltenburg about state war and some of major advances in Black Sea. Challenges spring and summer offensive. Coons says Stoltenberg encouraged everyone to stay determined and determined. Penny Pritzker, U.S. Special Envoy for Economic Recovery in Ukraine, told the meeting how she had recently taken a group of U.S. business representatives to Kiev to see possibilities. Coons, sitting next to Germany's economy minister Robert Habeck, also raved about Ukraine, telling us the way I talk in my own manufacturing business is hire for attitude, train for skill. That's a great place to invest. I talked about the Marshall Plan and how it wasn't charity. It was America's own security and economic interests. One European banker noted that while the Marshall Plan was a great thing, it was only a few years after the war ended that America actually offered aid. Coons argues that process could begin before the war ends, with parts of country less affected by conflict that are stable and safe. He says we must start now. Now we must wait until it is completely finished. Finally, on funding, Coons told meeting with confidence that the United States would deliver $61 billion. President Biden requested for additional funding. There will be disagreement, lot of sturm und drang, noise, but I am confident it will pass in few weeks. Coons, key Biden ally, tells us. Von der Leyen told meeting she was confident €50 billion from EU for development over next 4 years would also be passed. Coons said concerns that Middle East could push Ukraine away from the geopolitical agenda were also referenced at meeting, but he is confident that there is support on both sides of the Senate to defend and support Ukraine. He added that U.S. financial support has helped Ukraine's agricultural sector and the broader economy, citing its notable growth this year. It's grown almost 5